Hey, tours. It's your, it's your boy Nomination. This is back in the base. Check the deuces. How we do text, baby. Man, I was back. You know what it is. Know what it is. Real man rise up. Fake man rise down. Real woman rise up. Fake woman rise down. Spread the word, preacher, preach on. And today's topic to talk about is today's topic. I really want to talk about today is, man. This is a great video example. What are we fighting for? What are we fighting against? And every day an activity in an activity nation and an activity station with what goes on in our daily activity, daily our lives. You don't listen to this because this is very important for pronouncing what it's got to say, what it had to be said or that said. All right, here's the video. Listen to this.
Fairy tale. Work hard, save carefully, and do the right things, so you can retire to a dream home in the mountains. Alan. We all know the fairy tale. Work hard, save carefully, and do the right things, so you can retire to a dream home in the mountains. We all know the fairy tale. Work hard, save carefully, and do the right things, so you can retire to a dream home in the mountains. Alan Kessing was almost there. A dedicated customs officer, he had always done the right thing. But only months from his retirement, everything went horribly wrong.
Well, there's a really good line in one of Kafka's novels, The Trial, which in German is called Der Prozess. The very first line of the trial is, somebody must have been telling lies about Kay for one morning, unbeknownst to him, he was arrested. And that was basically my situation.
Alan Kessing is a criminal. But not because he chose a life of crime. It all began when, as a top customs investigator, he was selected to research dangerous holes in security at Sydney's airports. But 2 years later, when Kessing's confidential reports were leaked to the media, he was charged and tried, despite insisting he was innocent.
The report was written by me, so I'm obviously going to be the number one suspect.
Found guilty of whistleblowing, Kessing was convicted under the notorious Commonwealth Crimes Act.
It's a very draconian, old-fashioned piece of legislative drafting. It has to be changed. It's an example of the law actually supporting the ability of governments to go hunting people down.
Drafted in the overwrought era at the start of World War I to prevent the release of secret information. The Crimes Act still operates in the same way today.
If a public servant tells their wife or their husband across the bedroom pillow about some things that happened at work to them, that in fact is potentially a breach of Section 70 of the Crimes Act.
An unauthorised disclosure from the public service is a criminal offence.
I wish they didn't here.
It can send you to jail, it can ruin your career, it can cost you a lot of money.
Kessing's 4-year battle to fight his case and clear his name has sent him broke. Using the last of his superannuation for his legal costs, Kessing insists the Crimes Act was used to send a message.
They wanted me in jail to discourage other public servants. And it was just another nasty, vicious attack on somebody they thought who would not be able to stand up. The moment people stop standing up to injustice, then it's all over. We might as well just, crawl back into the slime from whence we emerged. We want to stand up. The moment people stop standing up to injustice, then it's all over. Vicious attack on somebody they thought who would not be able to stand up. The moment people stop standing up to injustice, then it's all over. We want to stand up. The moment people stop standing up to injustice, then it's all over. We might as well just, crawl back into the slime from whence we emerged.
I'll leave you with that thought. This series, Law and Disorder, is available on SBS on demand. And for those that are interested in Australia, is the Whistleblowers Australia site. And it says there, all it needs for evil to flourish is for people of goodwill to do nothing. So what are you going to do?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. But I want y'all to think about that. I really want y'all to think about that. But what does it mean doing the right thing to you? I've been doing the right thing for a long time. And what happens when you do the right thing? They expect you to do something wrong. And it's like that in the real world. There's two types of people. There's two. There's the people that doing what they supposed to do, and they get courage and they get suffocated. And there's the people who gonna do what they want to do. Those are the ones they can think they can do with everything they want as long as they please to do it. And you see it all the time. You see it all the time. You see it all your life by the time your early childhood. And then you understand why people being the way they is. I got it. I mean, being the way they is, man. But I want y'all to think about that, man, because every day when you try to do something right, what do they do? What do? They expect you to do something wrong. But this is what happens when you try to be kind with people. People ain't used to that, so that's just the way it is. But what I'm saying to this, man, that I'm making a video. I mean, I'll talk to my family member, but what I got to say about this, man, this is not only happened with, especially this man in Australia trying to do research about things going on, and then he became a criminal. At first, he did trying to do the right thing, but then all of a sudden, when he do some other things, that's a different story. You got to ask yourself. I've been hearing this all the time. Evil is good and evil is good and good is evil. I hear this all a lot, and that is some truth to there. You got to think about it. Evil is good and good is evil. I hear this a lot, and that is true. That is so true. When you do something good, good is evil. And evil is become as good. I know it sounds funny, but it does make sense if you think about it. Why you think people do what they do? What makes you think they did what they do? Because they know you represent good and they represent evil. But the people that doing evil things, they want to be good, but they did it in their own way. And the one that is doing good, they become evil. I know it sounds funny, but if you think about it, it is true. If you really think about it. But I know, the other day I saw some, ashes and I wiped it off because it showed me right there. That should show you how people right there. Number one, they probably jealous, or number two, you don't want to talk to them or don't want to say anything. It's not that I don't want to talk to them. I don't like being around people that's ignorant. Period. I don't care what race they is. Because basically, you're trying to get my attention. And that's what people do. People do that all the time. And why you think the people do what they do? So I already know why they throw stuff. They're trying to get my attention, trying to see my react. The show to think that if I cared about them or not. You got to understand your enemy very well. You really have to understand it. Why people do what they do. Why people become the way they hate the way they are. And when it comes to the system, I notice it when people do something wrong, they let those people get away with it. Those that the power authorities, the powers that be. But all everyday American people, they get encouragement and they get the scourgement of punish when they do something bad. I don't know why it's like that, but it is. It's always been like that when you think about it. The reason why I talk about this, because that's something that people need to think about this video that we just saw right there. Because I see this daily. Good people don't do nothing, but bad people always destroying the good. Because they can never be good with their self. That's something you think about. And good people can never become evil because they don't want to become this person that what about to become. And you know they not good like they used to be. So I get hate in a very young age. I get it. I understand good and the common good of things. You know, I make this video just because that's something that people need to think about. Because this man, what he did doing research and all that stuff, he was a good person. And you hear that stories all the time. Basically, when people say do the right things, just stay out of the way. Just do what you've been told. And that's about it. You be all right and be happy. Because if you still believe in injustice and trust your leaders or your system, it can happen to anybody. Look what happened to Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown. That tell me right there. These police, they got the power and authority. They can do anything. Police supposed to protect people, but I guess they supposed to protect supposed to protect the cause. They down with the cause for themselves, not anybody else. Now there's some good police officers, but there's some bad ones. But what I'm trying to make it is, why is it that you got people that doing the right thing? They get discouragement when they do something good. But when people do something bad, they warp people bad behavior. That's something to think about right there. Because it does make sense why people do what they do. Because they figure they can get away with once, they can do it again. You can get away with once time, but if 3 or 4 times, you can't get away with forever. Because it's going to catch up to you sooner or later. When you do something good, you could do things good, but don't do things good too much with people, because you better make sure you get some of return, and as far as it gets, as far as that goes. But what I'm saying is, you have to really understand how this world really is and how people is nowadays, because everything always seen what ain't what been seen. Because right now people on the they in the matrix, and they believe anything what the damn television says, what the radio says, what the news say, all that stuff they believe, but they can't think what's right for between the answers from their heart and their spines and their expensive unbounded minds. So think about that for a second, all right? I want y'all to think about that. Is evil is good and good is evil? Then think about that. All right, that's all I gotta say. Think about that. It's your boy Domination. This is Back of the Basic Chuck of the Deuces. How we do text, baby. Until next time, all right? All right, peace, and I'm out.